Good evening, or even good morning, depending on your time zone. We are happy you're joining us, and this is Julius Mbaluto Live. We are so happy that you're joining us to be with us. It's another episode of Julius Mbaluto Live on Saturday. We are coming to you all the way from the heart of London to wherever you are, and it's a great day. We're going to have a great time here. Today we are going also to learn a lot. And today we are putting on focus a very important organization that's doing great, because when you live and work abroad, the other question is, how can I invest back home? And we have seen a lot of people asking that questions, but most of the time we don't get proper answers. Some ventures began, others have stopped, but of course we work with the credible, integral organizations that are actually doing great, and they have a future, if I may say so. So therefore, why don't you just, connect with us again? Yeah, we are talking about, today we're talking about, Stoke UK Sacco. Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco, pretty much UK based where we are, and of course, great leadership. And they're doing quite a lot. Which is fantastic. And today we are honored to have the presence of the chairman, Dr. Isaiah Oino, and also the secretary of the Sacco, Mr. Nambu. Let me just get his name right, because I almost mispronounced his name, which is not right. For a Kenyan to do that is totally unforgivable. And I don't want to cause any problems. So I'm talking about the secretary of Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco, Stephen Onyambu. Stephen Onyambu. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Julius Mbaluto Live. It's good to have you.
Thank you for welcoming us, Mbaluto.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. So what I'll do, I'll kick off. I just want to give each of you some time to introduce yourself properly with all the other things that you do. So that at least we are on the same page. So I don't want to talk about you when you are here. What I can do is give you the chance to introduce yourself. Shall we start with Dr. Isaiah Oino?
Well, my name is Dr. Isaiah Oino. In terms of my day-to-day work, I work at Coventry University. I'm a senior lecturer there, but I'm also an accountant, and I'm also the current chairman of Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco. Background is accounting and governance. Thank you.
Stephen, your turn.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Stephen Onyambu, and my day job is I am an information security professional working with an insurance company based in Reading, UK. I am the honorary secretary of Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco. I'm very passionate about Kenyans coming together to improve their savings culture, to have a vehicle for getting access to credit, and also to invest together in Kenya, so that we the diaspora people can harness our collective energy to build our country, Kenya. That's my passion, and that's why I'm involved with Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco.
Yeah, we come back to Dr. Oino. Sometime when we get hold of you in your busy schedules, you always like to share a bit more, like, what does your work involve? What does it even mean to be working in a university in UK? Because we have all global audience, different countries, and on the ground in Kenya, it's good for them to hear, what does it mean to be working in Coventry University? And how is it a bit like?
Of course, there's quite a lot of that involved working as an academia. It's not just standing in front of the class and teaching, but also it's involving nurturing talents, those who come through the doors, developing their skills to the extent when they leave our institution, they are ready for the market. But also apart from teaching or lecturing, I also supervise PhD students or research students, but I also do research in governance, and mainly to do with banking governance. That's what mainly I do research on. So in terms of academia, apart from teaching, is pastoral research and nurturing talents. That's what it takes to be a lecturer at the university.
Oh, that's brilliant. No, it's really good to know because we also want people to know, yeah, Kenyans are also doing great things, not just maybe one thing, but all the other skills which are very important. It's pretty much inspiring. And that's why we give you the chance here to talk to people because someone now is doing accounts at their very lowest level. They're like, there's hope for me. So it's good. It's good. It's good to know. What about you? How is the IT sector operational in this part of the world? Steven.
IT is a challenging but also very exciting industry to work in, especially here in the UK. I can say there's currently a huge shortage of IT professionals, especially in the cybersecurity sector, which is a relatively new industry within the IT sector. And I switched from just being a regular IT person. I was a systems engineer until sometime this year. And then I made the big switch into cybersecurity. And that is something I'd like to encourage Kenyans and anyone else who is interested in IT, that the cybersecurity subsector is actually booming and it needs people who are qualified. So it won't be wrong to switch into cybersecurity. My day to day is to look at the security posture of the company I work for, make sure the bad actors, we call them bad actors, the hackers, don't get access to information because we work in the insurance industry and the information we hold personal data, which is very sensitive. So we make sure that we close all the gates, all the gaps within our systems. We certify that we are, implementing the right controls so that no one is able to access information that they're not cleared to access. And it's a very exciting role. I really enjoy it, and it's something that I'd like to continue growing in and being more useful. And also, maybe in future, I'll be able to go back to Kenya and help that as well in my home country.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Listeners, viewers, right, when you look around, we have a lot of skill base represented over here. And we are talking about Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco. It's so beneficiary to all these great skills these great men are possessing. So, yeah, be part of us. You can contribute, send your comments on our Facebook, share the link as wide as you can. Let's all get talking about Stoke UK Sacco, which seems to be successful on the ground in Kenya. So it's not your kind of invest back home ventures that have come and gone. We are talking about Stoke UK's Diaspora Sacco, fully operational, successful on the ground, pretty much well organized, and it's not just one day, it's been there. So why don't we get Dr. Owino to introduce to us Stoke UK Sacco, a bit of how did it all begin, and maybe to navigate further from that also you tell us, Stephen Nyambu, tell us where we are now.
Yes, thank you, Julius. Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco began as way back in 2022, and this was as a result of the Adventists meeting across different cities in the UK. So one Saturday they met at Stoke, and your guess is as good as mine. I wasn't there. So while a few men were having lunch and some ladies were having lunch in one table, they said, it's great, we're meeting all around. It's good we're together as a community, but why don't we set up a vehicle that we can put our resources together and share? This is very biblical. The other Christians, as the Bible says, used to pull the resources together so that nobody suffers, so that they can share. So as a result of this, then the Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco came into, and hence the word Stoke, because that's when they met. And they agreed, let us build a vehicle that we can pull all the resources together and lend among ourselves so that we can ensure that members have financial empowerment. It's not all about putting money together. It's all about, okay, you have been saving the Sacco for a couple of years. How has it benefited you? And I'm glad to say that as a result of that, as I think as my colleague is going to mention, is that a number of members have benefited from the Sacco itself, both directly and also indirectly.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. And to you, Stephen, where are we with the Sacco now? Of course, it's started, and like, where are we right now in terms of operation, in terms of success? Where are we now?
Yes, so we started off and we recruited a few members. The main challenge was to build capacity, to build our internal systems, to make sure we don't grow too fast without building the right structures within. In terms of structures, we are talking about subcommittees, because a SACCO is member-driven, member-led. So you need to have subcommittees that are composed of members. So for instance, if you want to invest in property, we have an investment subcommittee. So we have to have the right personnel in there. They're the ones who look at the suggestions for investment, look at them critically, and are able to make a recommendation to the Central Management Committee. And then the Central Management Committee will act on their recommendation to actually execute it. So we had to form subcommittees for every substantive activity we take part in as a SACCO. The second part of capacity building was to build our IT systems, very critical, and our accounting systems, and the way members are able to utilize this to transfer money to our bank. Because we bank in Kenya. We bank in Kenya with Cooperative Bank. So our members, wherever they are based, whether they're in the UK, whether they're in Canada, in the US, in Australia, and we have members in all these countries I've mentioned, we had to give them an easy way for them to deposit their money into our account. And then us being able to take that money and allocate it to their respective accounts. So all that was system building. And that's what we've done in 2018, 2019. And from last year, we are finally able to say now we have the right structures in place. We did not stop growth. We were still growing throughout that period, but we were sort of growing organically, just controlled growth. But since last year, we've opened ourselves up. We've said, now we have the right systems in place. Let's get more people in, and let's make this SACCO a vibrant, fast-growing SACCO that encompasses Kenyans in the diaspora to come in and be able to benefit from what the SACCO provides, which is encouraging you to save on a monthly basis, a minimum of 10,000 Kenya shillings for every member, and also giving you the opportunity to invest in credible properties, incredible investment opportunities in Kenya. Credible in that we've done our background checks, we've got partners whom we partner with, and we've done MOUs with them to make sure that the opportunity they offer our members are covered in terms of, if they're saying they're selling land to a member, then they have to provide a title deed. If they fail to, then we have a legally binding agreement that our member will be compensated. So that is the advantage of them joining, and that's what we're doing at the moment.
Brilliant. Brilliant. We'll come to that. And of course, to those who interact with Kenyan community events, I think just to have a feel of how Stoke UK looks like on the ground in diaspora, there was this great opportunity at Kenya in the Park interaction. We just want to have a feel of how it is like, just to see them on the ground in diaspora at the heart of London doing something pertaining what they do. So we're going to see briefly a clip about Stoke UK Sacco during Kenya and Friends in the Park.
Hebu tuambie. Yes, now I want you to tell my viewers, what is Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco mean?
Okay, Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco is an investment vehicle that encourages you as an individual to save money regularly and also to invest. It also is a vehicle to put you into a community that can help you whenever you have challenges, either financially, socially, and even physical challenges. And that is why we come together as Kenyans.
So when did it start?
We started in 2017, June, and we started from members in the UK here, and we have grown. Our membership now is drawn from many countries in the world. We have quite a number of good membership in the US. We have some members in Australia. We also have members in Canada, and currently we have even a member from Brazil. And we do have also members in Kenya. As long as you have been in the diaspora, as long as you have been in the UK, and you have some references in the UK, you can join.
Okay, thank you. You see, yeah, on the ground, you don't, it gets a bit busy. You need to be very active, and of course, in a very sport mood. And that's why you see these gentlemen. You wouldn't recognize them during that moment, because it's a different time, calling for different ways of interaction. So it's very interesting to see since Stock UK started and where you are and on the ground. Probably, I just want to maybe we capture on how you are like structured in terms of organizational structure. Probably we can get Dr. Owino to tell us about that. Like in terms of leadership, just to understand that for now as we get along to get to know
Okay,
more
so
about Stock
thanks very
UK.
much, Julius. One of the most important elements for success of any institution or organization is the structure. And that is why my colleague mentioned that we took a lot of time looking into our systems and structures. So if I give you a snippet of our structure, we have the AGM, Annual General Management Meeting or meeting of our members. That is the apex of the organization. Then we have the executive team or the management team, which comprises of the chairman, the assistant chairman, then we have the secretary, then we have the treasurer, then we have the failures now committees. And these committees include credit and risk committee, the investment committee, or what's now called the tender and procurement committee. We then have what is known as the strategic alliance committee. We have the supervision committee. We have the internal audit function. We then have what is known as the advisory committee. We have education committee. We then have marketing and recruitment committee. So all these committees are there to ensure that members are supported, and also we have a future direction, what we are aiming to do, so that things can tie up. In fact, recently, the last AGM, now we have what is known as a welfare and social committee to take care of the welfare of the members.
Indeed, and in terms of operations, of course, are you UK based, or is your presence on the ground in Kenya, and if so, in what way?
Now, we are registered by the Ministry of Cooperative in Kenya. So our operations are pure in Kenya. We have an office in Nairobi, Gong Shopping Mall, or Current Shopping Mall, or rather. So we have a general manager in that office with a few assistants who are not full-time. We have members in Kenya, the returnees, and some members who are just in Kenya. We have also members in the US. We have members in UK. We have members in Canada, Australia, Brazil, and we have one member from West Africa.
It's pretty encouraging to see Africa as well represented there, because when it comes to investment, Africans don't seem to be very keen in terms of connecting from country to country. That's what I mean. Of course, we all Africans, and you're doing great work. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to inter-Africa trade, inter-Africa diaspora initiatives, that kind of missing. Is it my thinking, or is that the reality on the ground?
I will say in terms of as the Sacco movement, we are very much limited to our membership coming from Kenyan nationals. But I think you're implying Kenyan nationals who live in other African countries, maybe those in South Africa, those in Namibia, other Kenyans in Nigeria. The Kenyan that joined our Sacco, whom Chairman is referencing, is from Sierra Leone. They're a UN employee there. So yes, our membership is open to Kenyans in the diaspora within the African continent, within the African diaspora, sort of whether in Ethiopia, South Sudan, South Africa. Those are all diaspora Kenyans, and they're welcome to join our Sacco.
Now, just to add on to what my colleague mentioned, to complement the question you asked about the governance, you may wonder, or someone may wonder, okay, how do you manage? You have members in the US, you have members in Canada, Australia, Brazil. How do you manage that? Now, we have what is known as country reps. So for every single country, for example, in the UK here, we have a UK rep. In the US, we have a US rep. We have Australian rep. We have Canada. So for every single country, as long as you have the minimum number of threshold that we have set, we'll set up a country rep. And then once you join as a member, apart from being in a specific cohort, you'll also be clustered as an account rep. So what we mean by that, there is a system that we have set up that somebody is in charge of, let's say, 10 members. Out of those 10 members, he or she will be reminding the members the need for them to be saving every single month. The whole reason of us doing that is to manage. You might want to call it micromanaging. Some people they are saying, well, micromanaging is not good, but also it enables us in terms of efficiency, also passing the information down to the members. Account reps are very important for our Sacco and also country reps. So as executive team, as management team, we also meet the country reps. Not only just the country reps. So for example, we also meet the members in the US. We meet the members in Canada. We meet the members in Australia, so that we can also be able to hear what their suggestions are. Saccos are members driven. The ideas come from the members. We are all, as directors of the Sacco, we are answerable to the members. Whether it's one member in Brazil, we are answerable to him or her. And that is how we manage our Sacco.
No, it's really good to know. And also to clarify this issue about Africa. Sometimes Africa, when you travel from your home country, from one country in Africa, sometimes you go to another African country, I found people who don't feel diaspora enough. so they don't take Africa as a serious diaspora place to be. So if you travel from Kenya to Tanzania, you're like, it's not diaspora. When you think diaspora, you're thinking UK, China, Canada, America.
Yes.
So probably it's good that we clarify that. And now Africans on the ground in Africa, they know they're also part of diaspora.
Definitely.
I think the most important thing
is,
so as long as you're a Kenyan and you buy our idea, you buy our vision, we have a 10-year plan. Quite a number of Saccos are set up with a short-term mission, short-term goals. With Stoke UK Diaspora, and this is what differentiates us from most Saccos. We have long-term plans. What is it that we need to achieve? Where do we see ourselves in the next 10 years? In the year 2019, we set up an ambitious program for 2030 vision. But we don't wait until 2030 to check and say, yes, we have arrived. But every single year we review. And this is the reason as to why we set up an advisory committee. And I can give you more information about the advisory committee. These are not members. They can be members, but currently they're not members. Who are they? These are experienced individuals in the industry. They are people with immense experience in banking, immense experience in governance, immense experience in HR, immense experience in businesses. And that's where we put them onto the table and say, this is where we want to be in the next 2030. How can you help us? How can you hold our hands to that journey? And that is why we have them. That differentiates Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco from other Saccos who are set up with a short-term vision. They set up and say, let's come together, buy land and subdivide among ourselves or build houses for ourselves. That's not our mission. Our mission is our long-term vision. Although you can't talk about long-term vision without short-term vision. Long-term visions is a build-up of short-term visions. So 2023, we have what is it we expect to have achieved. 2025, we have what is it we expect to have achieved. And then by 2030, where we should be as an organization.
No, it's great to know. It's great to know. Our viewers, you're watching to Julius Mbaluto Live and coming all the way to you from the heart of London. And today is a great, great opportunity to be talking about Sacco. Now then, when we talk about a Sacco, sometime if you're from Kenya, you tend to think about Sacco from very local context, thinking a Sacco must be a Kenyan Sacco. But then when you talk about a Sacco in the diaspora, some people want to understand how does that work in terms of legislation. Is there legislation available to back diaspora-based Sacco on the ground? I mean, maybe Dr. Hoino, you can shed light. It's good to talk about these aspects of things because people to make people understand where, how you're operating, where you are, and why you are Sacco in the diaspora.
Okay, that's a good question. If you remember what I mentioned in terms of what are some of the ingredients for successful organizations, apart from structure, so we have to have what is known as a legal framework onto which we are operating. Now, Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco is registered by the Ministry of Cooperatives in Kenya. Now, what we mean by that, we have the bylaws onto which everything we do must abide with that. It also means that every single operations that we do, we must notify the ministry. Our accounts are audited by the external auditor. We also have policies that we must have. Now, in the year 2021, which is June, the few months ago, actually 2 months now, 2 months, we applied to be regulated by SASRA. Now, SASRA has got stringent requirement for any SACCO to be operating. One, what kind of SACCOs fall under SASRA? All SACCOs with a turnover, a deposit turnover of more than 100 million, and all diaspora SACCOs are required to be regulated by SASRA. Now, there are quite a number of draft requirements of these, and these include the minimum core capital, which we have. It also includes having a management information system, which we have taken time to build it. It also includes that you have various policies and you're following those policies to the letter. The whole reason of ensuring that, of having these sort of policies and being regulated, is to ensure that the SACCOs are sustainable and your members or your money is protected.
Do you have anything to add, Stephen, on that in
Yes.
terms of?
Yes, exactly. So people might be asking how diaspora SACCOs are different from Kenya-based SACCOs. As chairman has explained, since June this year, we've all been put in one ship. As long as, if you're a diaspora SACCO, we're in the same ship as a Kenyan SACCO that has more than 100 million capitalization, or a digital SACCO. We are all in the same boat. We are all registered in Kenya. We are regulated by SASRA now. SASRA is who you're answerable to. Now, since June, we've had to have, previously we were based entirely we had offices in the UK, but now since June this year, we have an office in Karen and we have employees there. So it means SASRA can walk in anytime within a period of every 3 months and look at our books, make sure we are compliant, we are following the SASRA regulations, we are following the policies that we've set, we are following the bylaws to the letter. And as chairman has indicated, anything we do, whether we want to change an official, whether we want to introduce new financial products in the market, we have to inform SASRA and they have to say whether they're okay with that or not. This was pushed on the industry because, as Kenyans know, people have lost money to briefcase SACCOs that come here and promise to deliver heaven, promise to deliver low-cost build houses, and they don't do it, and Kenyans lose money. So it is welcome to us as leaders in the SACCO sector that the government has come up with these regulations. They're going to help clean up the sector and make sure Kenyans regain their faith in the SACCO movement again.
Yeah, it is very good that you mentioned about, the briefcase SACCOs, because we've seen in different countries in diaspora, whether US, whether UK, Kenyans in the diaspora try to trust some organization, but they started with a lot of hype and promise to make poverty history in your lives. in their lives. But little did they know it will end up draining all the little they had in their pocket and dissipate, just disappear in such a quiet mode, like they were not there. So therefore, it's always good when we talk about this for viewers who are watching to understand this is not another case of similar situations. So therefore, what will you say to people who have had bad experiences that, yeah, you're doing this now, and what can you say to them to just assure them Stoke UK Sacco is not another venture such as that?
One of the things that has led to many SACCOs collapsing is, apart from governance, it's also ethics on how the management operates. We have had scenarios where majority of the loans are lent to the directors or those in charge of the SACCO. Now, with the new regulation, SASRA is SACCO Society Regulatory Authority, for those who don't know. SASRA has got a clause, the maximum of loans that can be lent to the directors, only 10%. To put that into perspective, that if the total loan portfolio is 1 million, only or up to 100,000 would have been let to the directors. And this is to ensure that it's not the loans, all the loans have been taken by the chairman or by the secretary or by the treasurer. No, all that is to ensure that your money is safe. Other things that we do as Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco is to ensure that we have our internal audit function that is quite independent from the management. We have also what's known as the supervision committee that can hold us accountable. Now, and I've told the supervision committee chair, quite frankly, that if you see something that the chairman, I myself, I'm doing it which is not right, you don't have to tell me straight. If you can tell me straight, fine. But if you feel that you can save the SACCO by Isaiah being removed from the board of directors, so be it. They can report direct to the Minister of Cooperative and say, I am aware, I have got evidence that Isaiah is involved in one or two things, which is detriment to the growth or the sustainability of Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco. They can report direct either to the ministry or to SASRA. All those are things that will ensure that the SACCO is so sustainable. And bear in mind this, if you do remember, I gave you an history on how we started. We started as a Seventh-day Adventist church. So we have a Christian principles onto which we operate. Everything to do, yes, we have the legal principles, but also we have the ethics and Christian principles that we follow. Everything we do that.
To add to what Chairman is saying about the measures we've put in place to make sure that members have confidence when they invest in our SACCO, we have a loans committee. It's a credit committee. And this committee is composed of non-officials. So only the loans coordinator sits on the board. The rest of the members of that committee are ordinary SACCO members. It means that if a SACCO official wants to borrow a loan today, be it the chairman or myself or the treasurer, the decision has to go to that committee and the committee has to vote. So they will not give you preference because you are an official. They will look at your investment record, your contribution record, and base it on your creditworthiness and give you a loan or deny you a loan. You will not have any leverage because of the position you hold in the SACCO. And because of all these measures we put in place, our loans so far are all performing. We don't have any non-performing loan. It means that the loans are up to date and all the loans we've given up to now are being serviced in their good time. And we are very happy that is going on, and members are happy with that too.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic because the murky waters of investment is good to know. There's some clean water somewhere to drink.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise,
It's a
You
good
take
time
the
to drink my
cows.
water.
You take the cows to such a river, they'll go home protesting.
Yes, yes, yes.
And if we want to use a similar analogy, just to say, if you want to invest, you don't throw the baby with the bath water. You don't
Yeah,
throw them away both just because the water is dirty. You don't throw the baby on it away.
that's
So
right.
yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know that at least there's hope, and you guys are doing great work. So when we talk about membership, I now want maybe to give you a proper chance to explain to us how does one become a member. I mean, this is the time properly, and what are the expectations when you are a member, when you become a member?
Yes. So let me start from the bigger picture. Kenyans work very hard, whether you are in the diaspora, whether you're in Kenya. I know Kenyans are very hardworking people, and it's a reputation we have here in the diaspora. Most Kenyans in the diaspora work at least 2 jobs because they want not only to sustain their living here in their abroad, but also have something left to send to their relatives at home, and also have something left to invest for their retirement. And because of that, we provide this vehicle knowing that we can give Kenyans an opportunity to put their money where it can grow, and also it can give them some sustenance when they retire. How do you join Stock UK Diaspora Sacco? We'd like to have members joining us who are motivated to save. That is the key requirement, because the difference between joining us and opening an account, let's say in a Kenyan bank, is because we actively encourage you to save. You'll not hear a bank in Kenya where you open an account coming to you and telling you, please save this amount every month. But as a SACCO, we give you a target. We tell you, you should be saving at least 10,000 shillings every month. And members will tell you that some of them who do not have a culture of saving us at all, since they joined the SACCO, they find themselves having a half a million within a very short time, because they are being told, they are being encouraged to save. We have account groups where the account manager reaches out to you if you're delaying with your savings. So that's one key requirement. So maybe to be more categorical in the way I present it, first of all, for you to join us, you need to have your Kenyan documents. You need to have your Kenyan passport or Kenyan ID. One or either can serve the purpose. You need to have your signature, a picture of your signature, and a recent passport picture of yourself. And then you visit our website, which is being displayed there, stockukdiasporasacco.com. You go to our Join Us page. Right from the homepage, you will say Join Us. You click on Join Us, you will see the membership registration form. It is a very straightforward form. It's being displayed there, and I like that. So you enter your name there, you upload the documents that I mentioned, your Kenyan passport or ID, you upload a picture of your signature and a recent passport picture of yourself, and then you progress to give us your employment details. You just have to give where you work and what profession you're engaged in, or you can say I'm retired, or you can say I'm a business person. And then you move downwards and you give us a key component, which is your next of kin. We'd like to collect your next of kin right from the point you join the circle, because if anything happens to you, God forbid, then we have a reference. We have someone who will take over your investment in the circle, or who will benefit from it. And that's it. You click upload. At that moment, you will get to verify. You get a verification email to your email address. You verify, and after that, you'll receive an email giving you our account details. So you're given our cooperative account details in Kenya. And then wherever you are, if you're in Kenya, you can do a bank transfer of the registration fee. The registration fee is 10,000 shillings. That is non-refundable for all members. So if you're in Kenya, you deposit it through a bank deposit or through M-Pesa. If you're abroad, you can use either World Remit or Tap Send. We also accept other means of sending, like SendWave and others, although the ones we encourage for you to use is World Remit and Tap Send. Why do we encourage these two? Because we can see your name in our bank statement when you send. We can see the narration with your name, so we're able to know it's you sent it. But if you're not able to access these two, then use any other means, but make sure you send the sending slip or the email confirmation email received to the treasurer. So the information is given in the email that you receive from the SACCO. So, conditions for requirement: fill the registration form and upload it. It uploads once you say finish, and then pay a registration fee of 10,000 shillings, which is non-refundable. And then the third one, which I've not spoken about, is pay a core share requirement, which is 10 shares. 10 shares, each share is worth 10,000 shillings. This amount is payable at the point of joining or within 6 months of joining. So 10 shares, 10,000 each, that is 100,000. That is the core shareholding in the Sacco, payable immediately or within 6 months of joining. Lastly, you need to maintain your savings. Every month, you need to save at least 10,000 shillings. So those are the requirements for joining our Sacco, and they are very straightforward. We are here to help you through the process. Our contacts are on our website. On our contact us section, you'll see my number there and that of the general manager, and we will be able to guide you if you need any help from us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Indeed, indeed. And of course, Dr. Owino, I think probably there's that element of monthly savings.
Yes, that's correct. So as my colleague says, is that one of the reasons as to why we formed this vehicle is to have what is known as a saving culture. I have been in the UK here for so many years. I think most of my life has been in the UK. And I can tell you for free that it's absolutely very difficult for me to save. And having spoken to quite a number of Kenyans, whether you're in the UK or US or even those who are in Kenya, it's difficult because you have so many expenses to pay. And unless you have a vehicle, as my colleague mentioned, that will literally force you to save every single month, you will retire with nothing. Or you will be working from year in, year out without any credible plan. You might have a plan, but you don't have funds to execute that plan. So every single month, you need to ensure that you are saving every minimum 10,000. You can save more if you are capable of saving 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 every single month. But we encourage members to save minimum 10,000. It's from this 10,000, it's from this monthly saving, or rather, we multiply 4 times. So if you have saved 250,000, you can then qualify a loan up to 1 million. If you have saved 100,000, you can qualify up to 400,000. So take an example. Julius, you have a plan in the next 2 years to set up a restaurant or a hotel in one of the cities in Kenya. You know, unless you start that journey now, 2 years will come and you don't have anything. So you set up a goal and say, in the next 2 years, that's 24 months, how much do I need to be saving so that by the time I need to execute that plan, I will be able to secure a loan, which is quite sufficient enough for me to develop that project that I have in mind. So come, join a Sacco with the view that you're going to be saving periodically or monthly or rather, right? And have a plan in your mind. What is it that you want to do? And that is why the purpose of a Sacco, financial empowerment. When you speak to our members who have secured loans and they have set up the businesses, they had plans, they said, I'm going to take a loan and set up my business. And they tell you that my business is doing good. It makes me happy, right? Some of them, they have taken loans and they have bought houses in the UK, bought houses wherever they are. It makes me happy. So join a Sacco again with the view that you are going to save, but you have something, you have a target in mind. Now, that's what's known as the main saving. We have actually introduced other savings products. Very crucial, Julius. You might have children. So we have set up what's known as the children account. So as a parent, you want to make sure that by the time the child reaches 18 years, they have something to start with. So we have started that product because of the demand from the members. I have a 2.5-year baby. I have opened an account for him. You, as a viewer who is watching, if you have a child, think about their future. Think about what is that you want them to have by the time they reach 18 years. We have also what is known as the fixed deposit, where you put X amount of money and say, you know what, if I leave £10,000 in HSBC in the UK in the next 2 years, I don't think you'll get an interest more than £100 if you are lucky. So you put that £2,000 or £10,000 in Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco, will give you a very good interest rate. We don't promise you to give you 20% or 40%, because if we give you a very high interest rate, it means we're risking your money. So we will give you an interest rate that is sustainable, that covers your inflation and compensates your savings. We have also what's known as the holiday savings. Well, how did we find time to go for holiday? But even sometimes when you find time to go for holiday, you find your account is empty. So how do you do? Or you're leaving the UK here, you're going to Kenya, and you need to have, let's say, £5,000 for you to use in Kenya. Or you're in the US, or you're in Canada, and you're going to go to Kenya. Or you're in Kenya, and you want to go Mombasa for your holiday. How are you going to go without money? You need to have X amount of money. So we have what's known as holiday savings, where you can save regularly. You have a plan to say, I'm going to go for holiday June 2022. So you work out how many months from now to June 2022. How much do I need to have on that time that I'm going for holiday? I need to have 5,000. Then start putting a small amount of money towards your account. How is it different from holiday companies? We do have holiday companies that you can put money there for your holiday. But that money that you put onto a holiday company does not earn interest. If you put that money in Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco, it's there for you. At the same time, it will earn interest. Thank you.
And when we talk about members being able to access their money, of course, we're talking about in Kenya, but does it also work in the UK? Like someone based in the UK, somebody based in Canada, somebody based in the US, supposing they want to access that interest of their money, does it get paid to them where they are, or is it paid to their bank accounts in Kenya?
Most of our members prefer the money to be paid. They have Kenyan bank accounts, so they give us the authorization or the request that please put that money in this account in Kenya. But there are some who would prefer their money to be deposited in their accounts wherever they are. So if they give us the account details, then we're able to transfer the money. Of course, bearing in mind the change of currency from Kenyan to their respective currency, and deposit it in the account where they requested us to do the same. So they're able to get their money in their currency, and the account of preference. This includes, by the way, loans. We've had people who've actually borrowed money from us, and they've been able to get their money converted to their respective currency and utilized it where they are. If someone wants to buy a house in the UK, for instance, they want to put a down payment, they can get a credit from us for the same.
It's good to know, because these are all the questions that are in a lot of people's minds. So that we are talking to you, is good to give you the chance also to answer any question somebody may be asking in their minds. So it's very good. And of course, when we talk about the loans you offer, of course, loans are different. They could be like, it's just one blank check of loans. Or do you say we're going to give you loan to start a business, we're going to give you loan to buy a house, or we're going, or we cannot give a loan for you to do ABC? What is the position?
Yes, currently we have 4 categories of loans that we offer. The first one is the personal loan. The personal loan covers a myriad of different, opportunities. You could be looking for a loan for a school fees to finance your school fees. Maybe you want to do masters, or you want to do your PhD. Personal loan covers that. It covers maybe you renovating your house, buying a car. All that is expenses within your personal remit. Personal loans can be taken up to 2 million shillings, and they are payable within up to a period of 3 years. So you can prefer to pay it within a year, or you can pay it within a maximum of 3 years, that's 6 months. The interest on this loan currently is 10%, which is the lowest in the sector. I think, Julius, you can testify to that. The most SACCOs are giving loans at 12, 14, upwards to 18% per annum. It's very affordable because one of the reasons why we came into existence was to afford our members access to affordable credit. And we continue to do that, and we're happy that members are taking advantage of this opportunity. The second type of loan that we have is the development loan. Now, development loan, as the name sounds, is for you to do maendeleo, to undertake projects, to open businesses. This is where you can actually borrow to buy land, and we offer members opportunities to buy land owned by the Sacco or owned by our partners, which is Safaricom Investment Cooperative and Optiven, among others. So you can borrow and buy land, and by the time you finish paying this loan, the land you bought maybe has doubled up. As you know, the story of land goes in Kenya. How long do you have to pay this loan? You can borrow it for up to 5 years. How much can you borrow? You can borrow up to 5 million shillings for your development opportunity, which pretty much covers very many areas you'd like to invest in. And this interest rate at the moment is 10%. I know it says 12% on our website, but it's still 10%, although it's likely to rise to 12% very soon. But you can take advantage while the sun still shines at 10%. The last kind of loan we give, or the third, is the emergency loan. Thank you for reminding me, Chair. The emergency loan is for members who are faced with a situation whereby maybe you like the money to come instantly. You're bereaved, or you've got a family, someone in hospital, and you can take up to 400,000 shillings. This amount is meant to help you quickly take care of a situation, an emergency situation. The interest on this is slightly higher. It's 1.5 per month, which works up to about 18% per annum. And you have about a year to pay it back. So this money is normally processed very quickly. We try to do it within the same day, but maximum by the end of the next day. And this has been very helpful to our members who have faced emergency situations. Finally, we have the top-up loan, which is for members who have borrowed a development loan or a personal loan, and they did not finish whatever they were doing. They did not complete it. So they come back and tell us, I've been paying back my loan, but I need more money. So you need to have paid at least 75% of the loan you took. And then we can top up at 75%. As long as you've got a good record of repayment, you can get a top up and you can continue and finish your project. So you're not stuck and you're not able to get help to proceed. So we give you that for you to finish your project. Thank you so much.
Anything to add, Dr. Owen?
Thank you very much. All those loans go through rigorous process. Even if it's to do with an emergency loan, they go through what's known as a rigorous process. And the reason that's why we do that is to ensure that before we lend a member, they are comfortable with the amount they are borrowing, and they will be able to do what? To service their loans. So what we do as a member, once you've joined and you finish 6 months, you can apply for your loan. The first application you do will be checked by the secretariat. So the secretary will check and verify that you've submitted the right documents. And nowadays, actually, you can do it online. So in our management information system, through the members portal, you can submit your application. There is no hard copy that you have to print and sign. You submit through the members application. So the secretary will check and verify that you have completed all relevant field and submitted evidence as required. At that stage, I'm sorry, Julius, if the documents are not complete, you will receive the application back and say, I'm sorry, there are some field or there are some sections that you did not complete. Please, can you complete it? Otherwise, if the secretariat, they are happy that all fields are completed correctly as required, they'll go to the risk and credit committee. Now, these will scrutinize the application in the detail, checking on how much you borrowed, how much you want to borrow rather, checking on how much you're entitled, how much can you borrow up to a maximum, checking the relevant document. For example, if you're required to submit your payslip, your bank statement, other expenses that you're incurring, to check, because we want to be a sustainable lender. You know, one of the things that, if you remember 2008 or rather 2009, when we had the financial crisis, is because of unsustainable lending. Banks were lending to people who are not able to do what? Afford loans. Yeah, as much as we are encouraging members to come and borrow, we want to be seen to be sustainable lenders. So you might want to apply for 400,000 or 700,000, and by the credit committee looking onto your records and your earnings, they might suggest, I'm sorry, based on your earning capacity, can you be able to revise the application slightly lower? Because that's what we think you'll be able to pay without struggling. We don't want to have a scenario where Julius, a member, borrows and they are not able to pay, buy food. No, that's not sustainable. Or a member borrows money and they are not able to service their loans. No. So once the credit committee, they have reviewed your application, they might say, it's good, it's approved. It goes to the executive committee now. The executive committee will then do what's known as a final check to verify that actually the applicant completed the relevant document correctly and they deserve to get that X amount of money. So if they do the final check, it's not just rubber stamping before the money is released. They also go through the documents before the money is released to the applicant. All those processes is to ensure that we are seen as a sustainable lender.
And the last
Thank
step
you.
there of the money being released is the signatories of the SACCO actually signing for the money to come out of the account. So no money moves out of our account without the chairman, the treasurer, the secretary, and or the managing director or the general manager signing for the amount to go out. So we've got at least 3 signatories signing for money to come out of the account of the SACCO at any given time.
And what goes to the bank before the money comes out of the bank? No, it's not only just the signatures. No, in the bank as we sign, we have to accompany that with the application to ensure that the members applied. The bank has to verify that actually this is a loan application before the money is released.
No, it's good you're doing all these verifications, and you see, when people do things sometime, and when you look from far, you're like, okay, it's pretty easy, but it's just like now you guys go to church. There's someone who used to love singing, but actually she couldn't sing properly. Like you wouldn't connect with her singing. And one time, someone said, "You know what? Although you have a passion to sing, can you just do some choir practice?" And she was like, "But God wants us to make joyful noise." It's, when you become, you want to sing professionally, right? You really have to. You can't shy away from the practice. It's no longer a matter of making joyful noise. And therefore, although, yeah, these fantastic things we are sharing, someone listening, oh, okay, it's pretty easy. Are there challenges that, just like in that case, you realize you had to go for choir practice of investment?
Yeah. Actually, that's a very important point, Julius, you're mentioning. One of the committees that I did mention is the education committee. This is not something that you just wake up in the morning and you know how to do it. We have attended quite a number of trainings. We have also the supervision committee that holds our hands and say, I lift up the phone and I say, there is an HR issue here. We have an employee. What do we do in this scenario? We have an issue with the governance. What do we do in this scenario? And always referring back to our bylaws. What is it that we signed? What is it, our policies that we have said? A member has applied. Stephen has applied for a loan. You don't just go through and say, yes, Stephen, qualify that. What does our credit policy say? Right? What does it say? Okay, has he taken a loan? Okay, if he has taken a loan, has he paid 75%? What was his payment behavior like? He might have paid 75%, but he was an individual who was struggling to pay up the loan. But we are not saying at the same time, we will say no to him, especially when it comes to development loan. It goes to an extra process to check. And I think this is where the risk committee will come and say, okay, Stephen, you applied for a loan. It was a development loan. What is it you did? Did you start a business? Did you start a house? We need to verify how far you've gone that. And I keep on emphasizing sustainable lending. It's not just saying, no, you can't. We can't give you additional loan. but it's also verifying how far your project has gone.
Yes, I will say some of the challenges we faced is because we started this from scratch. We started from zero. We started with a few members, 1, 2, 3. We grow from one member to now our current status. It is not easy to get people to join an organization that is just starting. And so our growth has been gradual. And we've had to really put ourselves out there for people to begin to realize that this is a serious organization. Right now, we have people joining every day, and we know that we will continue growing going forward. And just like the illustration of when you see a duck floating in water, there's a lot of pedaling, going on under the water. In the same way, we started off, we all have our day careers, but we started out and we put in a lot of energy in this organization. Not just the two of us, but a whole team of us in the management and those who've been there previously, working hard without any compensation to make sure, because we had a vision and we had faith in what we were creating. And now we can be proud to say we formed a formidable financial institution that is giving our members credit, that is allowing our members, encouraging them to save, and giving our members opportunities to invest in credit-worthy opportunities in Kenya. The other challenge has been due to the geographical dispersion. Initially, people were asking, why don't you bring the AGM to where we are? People in the US, why don't you bring the AGM to Australia? But now, because of this COVID crisis, people have gotten used to having meetings over Zoom, virtual meetings. Now we're having our virtual AGMs, and they look perfectly normal. People can join in. We have a bigger amount of a percentage of attendance. More people can attend, and that has solved that geographical dispersion. So we've managed to weather most of all our challenges up to this point, and we know we shall be able to continue growing as we progress.
Thank you. That's fantastic. It's good to know these things. And yeah, you see, you're in a different level. I listened to a philosopher once, kind of confused me. Very much feeling like this Englishman doesn't know how to speak his English. Because he said he was like lecturing. He started by telling us plans are nothing. Planning is everything. And I'm like, what's the difference? Plans are nothing. Planning is everything. And definitely I realized what he meant. One plan is just an idea. But until you act on that idea, it will just remain an idea. But when you act on it, you begin to implement it. Then that's where planning has kicked in. So I think in your case, you're past the vision, past the idea. You are in the planning whereby things are happening. And I think it sounds great from where I am. So we would love to talk to you forever, but time doesn't give us that luxury right now. So it's been fantastic to host you, Dr. Isaiah Oino and Stephen Onyambu from Stoke UK Diaspora Sacco. Fantastic. And also thank you to all our viewers watching from wherever you are. It's been fantastic. Let's also give credit to our techno savvy, Joseph Adamson, the guy who is driving our technologies. So thank you to all, and we'll meet another time. It's over from us. Thank you for being with us during this episode of Julius Mbaluto Live. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Jill.